Today, we're going to explore something called Dharana. It's an ancient and really powerful practice that's all about mastering the art of concentration.
So does this sound familiar? You sit down, you try to focus on just one thing, and almost instantly, your mind is just a whirlwind, right? It's bouncing between to-do lists, things you're worried about, random daydreams. It's a struggle we all know, especially today. But what if you could actually train your mind to stay put? Well, the yogic tradition has a very specific, time-tested tool for that exact purpose, and that tool is called Dharana.
Okay, so what is Dharana really? Let's dig in and start with what the word itself actually means. The word Dharana, and you'd say it like Dhāraṇā, comes from the Sanskrit root dhar, which literally means to hold. So at its very core, Dharana is the practice of binding your consciousness, of holding it steady on one single point of focus. That could be an object, a place, or even just an idea. You know, it's amazing. The foundational text of yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, defines it with this beautiful simplicity. It just says, Dharana is holding the mind onto some particular object. So direct, yet incredibly profound when you think about it. Now, to really get a feel for it, it helps to see where Dharana fits into the whole system of yoga. It's the sixth of the 8 limbs, and it comes right after pratyahara, which is all about withdrawing your senses from the outside world. So you can think of it like this. First, in pratyahara, you let go of all the distractions. Then, with dharana, you actively catch and hold the mind on one single thing.
There's this amazing analogy for this. Ancient yogis would say the mind is naturally like liquid mercury. It's fast, it's slippery, and it just wants to flow all over the place. The practice of dharana is what takes that scattered, liquid-like mind and makes it solid, holding it still in one place.
So you might be asking, why go through all this trouble? What's the real benefit of developing this kind of intense focus?
Well, the yogic texts promise some pretty incredible rewards. See, a concentrated mind isn't just a quiet mind, it's a powerful mind. This practice is said to awaken your energy, spark new inspiration and creativity, and even sharpen your intuition, that gut yes or no feeling. It builds the mental muscle you need for determination, which leads to real, tangible progress in your life.
And you know what's so cool? This isn't just ancient philosophy anymore. Modern science is actually starting to observe and measure the real physiological changes that happen in our brains and bodies when we enter these states.
Okay, check this out. A review from the National Institutes of Health highlights a really fascinating distinction. If you look at the next stage, Dhyāna, which is effortless meditation, you see all the classic signs of deep relaxation, right? Lower heart rate, slower breathing. But now look at the column for Dharana. The body's relaxation signs don't really change much. But what does change? The scores on attention tasks improve significantly. So Dharana is the active training phase. It's the workout that sharpens the mind.
All right, so that's the what and the why. Now for the how. How do you actually do this?
One of the most common and classic techniques is something called tradaka. This is where you focus on an external object. You might just sit and hold a steady, unwavering gaze on a single point, like the flame of a candle. The whole point is to train both your eyes and your mind not to wander off.
But your point of focus doesn't have to be outside of you. You can also direct your concentration inward. Your anchor could be the simple sensation of your own breath moving in and out. Or it could be the silent repetition of a mantra, like Om, or a visualized image, maybe a lotus flower in your heart center. You can even focus on subtle internal sounds.
And Dharana isn't just for when you're sitting perfectly still. Your physical yoga practice can be a form of concentration too. I mean, think about trying to hold a challenging balancing pose, like tree pose. To stay upright, you have to fix your attention on a single unmoving point. That's it right there. That's Dharana in motion. You're building that same mental muscle. I heard a teacher describe the practice as a bit of a fight, and I love this analogy. Imagine you're the captain of a ship, a helmsman, trying to steer through a raging storm. The waves are all your distracting thoughts, constantly trying to pull you off course. Your awareness is what lets you notice you've drifted, and your willpower is the muscle you use to steer the ship back. Every single time you bring your mind back, you're making that muscle stronger.
But what if just holding your focus is only half the story? There's a modern psychological perspective that adds this really fascinating, almost challenging twist to the whole practice.
The psychologist Andrei Safronov asks this very provocative question. He says, if all you're doing is passively staring at a meaningless object for hours, are you really growing?
He argues this kind of practice, if it doesn't have a deeper purpose, might just be, in his words, intellectual masturbation.
So this alternative view suggests that the real power of Dharana gets unlocked when your object of concentration isn't just a thing, but a question, a problem. You focus your mind not just on something, but on trying to solve a problem that you don't yet have the answer to.
You see how this completely reframes the practice? It's no longer about just emptying your mind. It's about using the incredible power of a focused mind as an engine for discovery. It becomes this active, creative state that can lead to genuine breakthroughs and real insights, not just a feeling of stillness.
So, whether you see it as pure, simple concentration or as this powerful tool for creative problem solving, mastering Dharana isn't actually the final destination. It's the critical gateway to even deeper states of consciousness.
In the yogic path, Dharana is the essential groundwork. It's the part that takes effort. But when you can sustain that effort, it's said to naturally, spontaneously flow into jhana, a state of true meditation, where the focus becomes this uninterrupted, effortless stream. And that state, in turn, can lead all the way to Samādhi, where the separation between you and what you're focusing on just dissolves completely.
So Dhāraṇā is really the act of forging a key, the key of concentration. And with that key, you can unlock doors to deeper insight, to greater creativity, and to a profound sense of peace. The only question left is, what door will you unlock?